Okay, good morning. So I heard a message from a group of beings that wish to channel through me, and that group of beings, I understand, is with us. So who are we connected to at this time? Arcturians, Arcturians, yes. Good morning, Arcturians. So Arcturians, I wondered if I could ask a few questions before we get to the message that you would like to provide to us. I wanted to ask a little bit about some of the frequencies or levels that exist in the astral plane. And I would imagine this is maybe complicated. Yes, and it might be a lot to even describe or explain. I wondered maybe just to kind of boil it down to a few questions at this time to see if it's possible to answer. Do all the star beings live in different frequencies? Yes. Okay. And do all of the ascended masters and other beings also live in different frequencies? Yes. So would you describe frequencies in lieu of levels in a way? Yes. Okay. F, R, E, Q, U, E, N, C, I, E, S frequencies. Okay, they are different frequencies. Okay, and are all of these frequencies aware of each other in the astral plane? Okay, that's interesting. So there are no frequencies that have no knowledge of the others, maybe other than this earthly experience where we have the veil of forgetfulness. Would that be accurate? Yes. T-H-A-T, that, I-S is C-O-R-R-E-C-T. That is correct. Okay. And do each of these frequencies, well, I'm just trying to understand how the frequencies work from a soul growth perspective. Are there different frequencies based upon our soul growth level? Yes. Okay. So for instance, an ascended master would be at the top or at a somewhat higher frequency than those who are maybe on, who are still on their journey and still learning the lessons for soul growth. Would that be a good way to describe it? Yes. T-H-E-R-E there. A-R-E-R. M-A-N-Y, many, there are many, okay, many frequencies along that path, and I'm sure it's really difficult for us to understand from this perspective. Okay, that was just a question, some questions I had about those levels and frequencies, and I guess just maybe one more before we move on. I wondered about the angelics and where they are in terms of their frequencies and their interactions with the star beings. So the angelics are able, obviously, to interact with star beings. Yes. T-H-E-Y, they, A-R-E-R, C-L-O-S-E-S-T, closest, T-O-2, S-O, U-R-C-E, they are closest to source. That's what I anticipated or guessed, is that maybe the angelics were at such a high level that they are the closest to prime source creator. Okay. Thank you, Arcturians, for explaining that. So, do you have a message for us today? Yes. T-H-E-R-E there. A-R-E-R, S-O, so, M-A-N-Y, many, C-H-A-N-G-E-S, changes, C-O-M-I-N-G, coming, A-N-D, and, W-E, we, A-R-E-R, W-I-T-H, with, Y-O-U, O-N, on, T-H-I-S, this, J-O-U-R-N-E-Y. There's so many changes coming, and we are with you on this journey. Okay, thank you, Arcturians. Absolutely. So Arcturians, can we ask you maybe some of the changes that are coming for us? And maybe you can't provide too many details. That's what I suspected. So is everything that is occurring divine well? So this is part of the plan for us for ascension and our evolution of consciousness. Would that be a good way to describe all the things that are coming for us? Yes. Is there any other information you'd like to provide to us at this time? Yes. W-E-A-R-E-R. S-O so. G-R-A-T-E-F-U. Oh, grateful. T-O-2. T-H-I as this. C-H-A-N-N-E-L. Channel. A-N-D and. W-E we. W-I-L-L will. B-E-B-L-O-O-K-I-N-G looking. F-O-R-W-A-R-D forward. T-O-2. R-E-C-O-N-N-E-C-T-I-N-G. We are so grateful to this channel and look forward to reconnecting. Absolutely. Yes, it sounds like things are ramping up and that contact is imminent and that we will be understanding that we are all one and all connected and part of a much larger community than what we thought we were in this earthly experience. So that is amazing. So Arcturians, and I know that you probably, you know what I'm thinking, which is, can you give us any idea when or any kind of timeline? No, not at this time. Okay. That makes sense, Arcturians. Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to share with us? T-H-E-R-E there. A-R-E-R. T-H-O-S-E those. W-H-O who. D-O do. N-O-T not. W-A-N-T want. H-U-M-A-N-I-T-Y humanity. T-O-2. W-A-K-E wake. U-P up. T-O-2. T-H-E-I-R there. D-I-V-I-N-E divine. O-R-I-G-I-N-S. There are those who do not want humanity to wake up to their divine origins. Yes, and the other divine beings have said that many times. And can you provide any more information about that in particular? T-H-E-R-E there. A-R-E-R. T-H-O-S-E those. I-N-N. P-O-W-E our power. W-H-O who. W-I-L-L will. D-O do. A-N-Y-T-H-I-N-G anything. T-O-2. C-R-E-A-T-E create. F-E-A-R fear. I-N-N. H-U-M-A-N-I-T-Y. Okay, there are those in power who will do anything to create fear in humanity. Okay, and I'm not sure if I spoke on in a session or if this was a personal session I did myself, but it's my understanding that there are beings who absorb the fear from humanity and those in the incarnation as either a source of power or energy. And again, this is not something to be afraid of, and it's not a change. It's been like this from the beginning. But therein lies the journey and mission for us to remember who we are as divine beings and to stay in a love vibration. And I just wanted to remind us of that, Arcturians. So Arcturians, is there any more information you could provide on this particular topic? T-H-E-Y, they. W-I-L-L, will. B-E-B. P-L-A-N-N-I-N-G, planning. T-O-2. C-R-E-A-T-E, create. F-E-A-R, fear. I-N-N. T-H-E, the. M-A-S-S-E-S. Okay, they will be planning to create fear in the masses. Okay, and can you tell us anything about what they are planning at this time? Yes. T-H-E-Y, they. A-R-E-R. P-L-A-N-N-I-N-G, planning. A-F-A-L-S-E, false. A-L-I-E-N, alien. I-N-V-A-S-I-O-N. They are planning a false alien invasion. Okay, and other divine beings have said this before, star beings, divine beings. We've had this message a few times. So will this correlate in some sense with the grand event that Jesus mentioned in a prior session, that contact is near? And that's a huge yes. Okay, so I'm a little confused about how that will play out. So what I'm guessing, and maybe you could clarify for us, is that there are those planning a false alien invasion, but the true benevolent beings who are with us will also present themselves at the same time, or something to that effect. Is something like that going to occur? Yes. Y-O-U-U-A-R-E-R-C-O-R-R-E-C-T. You are correct. Okay, so what I'm guessing in a sense is that these beings who want to remain in power and that want to create fear in the collective are creating this firestorm of fake or false threats to us as a species in these human incarnations, and therefore the benevolent beings must respond in turn to show that there is nothing to be afraid of, that there are benevolent beings, and this is part of our evolution of consciousness and knowledge of who we are. So okay, so can you provide any information? I know you can't tell us when, but can you provide any information about how to respond, how to prepare, anything like that? Yes. Y-O-U-U-N-E-E-D, need. T-O-2, L-O-O-K, look. W-I-T-H-I-N, within. Y-O-U-R-S-E-L-V-E-S. You need to look within yourselves. And what I think you're saying is to use our own discernment and go with what feels right to us, and whether there truly is a threat or if there is not a threat. And again, we in the collective know that our governments are not being truthful with us, especially when it comes to aliens, to UAPs, to all of that phenomenon. We know that we've been lied to for so many years. So I think you're just saying to use our discernment, go within ourselves, and really look to that knowledge and wisdom in whatever we're seeing and experiencing. Yes, okay. Y-O-U-U-A-R-E-R, W-I-S-E, wise. W-E-W-O-U-L-D, would. L-I-K-E, like. T-O-2-S-A-Y, say. T-H-A-T, that. Y-O-U-U-A-R-E-R, A-N-A-N, A-S-C-E-N-D-E-D, ascended, M-A-S-T-E-R. We would like to say that you are an ascended master. Yes, and I've heard that so many times. And I believe that means that I have learned the lessons about love and that I have had thousands of lives in order to learn those lessons, and that I have gotten off, I guess you could say, the karmic journey, that we all kind of come into the experience to learn the lessons. And again, this is not punishment. This is not punishment. We choose to come into the experience to learn these lessons. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Arcturians. I guess there's no getting out of it. Okay, Arcturians, I'm grateful. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share at this time? No? Okay. That was a lot of amazing information. Thank you. And I guess really quick, if it's okay to ask, I would love to see your ships in the night sky. You've shown them to me before. So can you do that for me? And for us, can others ask to see you in the night sky? Yes. J-U-S-T, just. H-A-V-E, have. A-N-O-P-E-N, open. H-E-A-R-T, just have an open heart. Okay, I love that. Okay, thank you, Arcturians. I am grateful. I'm sending you much love. And this is an exciting time to be here. And we will look forward to all the changes that are upcoming for us. So thank you, Arcturians. Sending you love.